Norman here in Worcester, Ohio, filling in for Joe Shoop today. Joe can't be with us, but we're going to do our best to fill in here, and also want to encourage everybody to log into the video broadcast that we have, worldwide video broadcast today at 3 o'clock Eastern. That's 12 noon on the Pacific time, and you can find that direct link at mykbgold.us. Mouse over the More tab, click on the live event schedule, and you'll see that listed under the presentations for Thursday. So we are right at the top of the hour. Dr. Denis, are you with us yet?
I'm here.
All right, fantastic. Well, I guess, guys, how we're going to get things rolling today is I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Denis. He has a very unique and interesting perspective on the KB vision and what it can mean to a multitude of different type of people. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Dr. Denis. Take it away.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Thanks. On this call, we've heard all sorts of perspectives from different points of view, because that's what a perspective is, viewed from a distance, and people from different walks of life and different mindsets and different educational sets look at this project, KB Vision, and they see different things. Once again, some of it's a product of their education, of where they live, of their upbringing, of their experience in business, their lack of experience in business, their experience in marketing. Do you hear me okay, Joe? It's like...
Yeah, I'm going to have to mute the line, and if I do, I don't think people will be able to ask questions today, but let me go ahead and do that.
Conference muted.
Okay, so hopefully you were able to hear what I said there, that because there was a little background noise. But as many people as there are who look at KB Vision's big enough that it's possible each one of them who are attracted to it or their curiosity is piqued by it is for a different reason. They see something different because people are all the same and they're all different. And some people look for similarities and some people look for differences. But when people look at something objective, like looking from the outside in at first blush with KB Vision, frequently they see KB Vision, but they're seeing it through their own eyes. So there's an old parable, the elephant and 5 blind men, that I think applies to virtually everything in life, but I've never seen it apply to anything quite as powerfully as it does to KB Vision because of how big KB Vision is. Heard Dan Boomer on this call express the hugeness of it. Joe Norman expressed almost breathlessly the importance and the hugeness of it. That other people come on. I was up till 11 o'clock last night Eastern time, which is later than I usually work, helping one of my people in my organization, my group, my business, talk to a gentleman who has far more experience with precious metals, the economy, currency, and is also an accomplished network marketer who's in another program that has to do with precious metals. And we were comparing, trying to make an apples and apples comparison. And I learned a lot, which is one of the wonderful things about this business. But what happens over and over again, this parable comes back to mind. The elephant and 5 blind men. The elephant's so much bigger than the people, and whether they're blindfolded or whatever, they don't know what it is what's being put in front of them. And one of them may grab the tail, one may grab the trunk, one grabs the tusk, one grabs a leg, one touches the underbelly, and they all describe something different, even though it is part of the same thing. You've heard that old saying that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Well, that is another way of looking at this. Now, interestingly enough, I'll give you an example. Someone might look at this program, and what might catch their attention is transaction-friendly weights of bullion, meaning that in a crisis, you have bullion in these small weights that could be exchanged for goods and services, where an ounce or a kilo, certainly, or more, would be virtually useless. Or if you did do in a transaction, you'd lose an enormous amount of value, because the only thing you have is in one piece at $1,600, $1,700, $1,900, maybe $4,000, maybe $5,000 for this 1 ounce of thing. How are you going to buy bread and gasoline and whatever with it? Well, some people, that transaction friendly, that just rings their bell. Someone else looks at it and they go, is the quality registered? Is there an authority that will stand up and say, this is what it's supposed to be? And here you've got, they look at the Kinnabar holographic signature and they go, wow, and that rings their bell. Someone else looks at it and go, what's the quality of it? And it ties into the Kinnabar 999.9 fine gold, and the Swiss government stands behind that, both by weight and purity. That rings their bell. Someone else looks at this and they go, I heard what's coming is a global network of goods and services providers that are going to accept this bullion online for goods and services at spot for that day. And they go, wow, what a creative idea. Someone else looks at it and goes, I can have it delivered to me if I purchase a certain amount. I can have it stored in the safest place in the world and have it stored for free. Someone else looks at it and they go, you know what? If I see this right, by referring others, I can actually acquire free gold of the highest quality in the world in a transaction-friendly weight category, and plug into and use what I acquire by my efforts, as well as my purchases, in this globe. And they see the whole thing. Someone else is very tied into the economy and what's happening with the fiat currency and a safety net, and they don't really get any of the things I just said, but they just the word gold makes their eyes pop out, because they realize what the world of gold is doing and the safety behind it and the history behind it. So my point is this. That's how big this is. And when we're growing our KB Vision business, sometimes the temptation is to take the thing that rang your bell and try to use it to ring someone else's bell. When in fact, if you gave them a chance to look at some of the presentations that are out there that mention all of these things at once as an initial overview, very likely they're going to see something that's going to ring their bell that's different than what got you. And the more that you go out and try to sell what it is you're excited about, you're going to attract a few people like you, and you're going to lose a lot of others. There'll be a lot of arguments that come up about anything you can imagine, and all that family of things I just mentioned. So what really brings us back to this. It's a simple business. Get registered. Do it appropriately. Get your KYC. That's the first step. Get it all done. Make the purchase that's appropriate for you. And this, one of the things this program is about, I should have included it in that. See, that's the elephant's so big here, I left out the part about this savings plan that they have set up, which is something that encourages people to do, that is so smart, and they pay us so well for it. Nonetheless, that's another part I just happen to leave out, because I don't care who's going to do it, me, Joe, Dan, doesn't matter. Somebody's going to miss something when they try to explain the whole thing. That's why in building the business, it's important. Show the tools. Then when anybody gets started, do a 3-step dance. Very simple. They register appropriately. They make the purchase or purchases appropriate. The purchase or purchases appropriate to them. Hopefully, they're going to be smart enough to do 2 things, and we can encourage them to do it. enter the savings, the purchase program. And if you want gold to have in your hands delivered to you, make a one-time purchase. Does two things. You've got it with you while your savings plan is accumulating in a safe place of storage, and you've got product in your hand to show to other people, because these cards with the embedded bullion are beautiful. So step one, register appropriately. Step two, make the purchase and or purchases appropriate for you. Do it right away. Step three, share. Just share your enthusiasm, your excitement with other people, whether it's people you know, people you meet, or people you find. Go look for. That'll be leads and things like that. There's only three markets out there. People you know, people you meet. How do you discourse with people you meet? How do you approach people you know? Share your enthusiasm. Share the tools with the people who respond to your enthusiasm. Let them look for themselves. Let them grab the part of the elephant that rings their bell. And then what do? We just help them succeed by teaching them on calls like this how to basically simply do this. That's pretty much it, Joe. The elephant and five blind men is one of the best parables of all time. It applies to everything, but I've never seen it apply to anything like it does KB Vision.
Oh, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I certainly appreciate, I've looked at the legs and the tail and the trunk and the tusks and even taken a look on top of the back, and it doesn't matter how you look at this, they all look good. And I think everybody would agree that we have such tremendous tools available. It enables anyone, even brand new people, if you learn the skills, success will chase you. Do not, I repeat, do not be the message. Just be the messenger.
Correct.
Put this in front of as many eyeballs as you can. In fact, if those of you that are listening on the telephone, if you are sitting where you have access to a computer, what I would like you to do is go to mykbgold.us. mykbgold.us. You don't have to type in HTTP or www. Just type into your browser address bar at the top, not your search engine bar, but your browser, mykbgold.us. And when you get there, mouse over the More tab, and I want you to click on the drop-down box right at the top, Affiliate Training Tips. Affiliate Training Tips. And that page is so very important. It's so very important for you to get your new people there. Let us train your people. You don't have to do that. We'll do it for you. You've got this page. You've got the mykbgold.us website. You've got the Breakfast Club calls. You've got all these fantastic things that are happening on a weekly basis. You've got one of the best trainers as far as language and communications in Dan Big Boomer Girolamo, who I'm going to turn the call over here to. But what I would like you to do is go to mykbgold.us, mouse over the More tab, click on Affiliate Training Tips, and right below where it says All in the Race Run, those that run to win obtain the prize, it says click here, 5 foundational components of a successful KB Vision business. And I can honestly tell you, if you will master, and go ahead and click on that, master these 5 skills, just like it says at the top, you can be the next 6-figure income earner waiting to happen. Learn and teach the following components. Number 1, and I feel the most important, if you're looking to build a big business, you've got to get good, and you've got to get tenacious about marketing. Exposing this to others, putting this in front of as many eardrums and eyeballs as you can consistently on a daily basis. And with that in mind, I want to turn it over to Dan Big Boomer Girolamo, because he has a massive organization, and he has done everything and more that I just explained. He's been consistent, he's been tenacious, and as a result, he has a very, very large organization. Now, Dan, what would you like to say briefly concerning the first of the 5 foundational components?
Well, marketing and exposure to others. If you have not identified the windows of time you are going to do that, you have not set yourself up to be proactive in that area. You have to identify when it is that you're going to, if your life's busy, you're going to have to identify where and how you are going to be able to get the message in front of people. The whole reason that I started using the 2-minute call, putting the 2-minute call on your phone, and I listed under the contacts KB and then the 6 digits of the activation code, the access code, so that I can see it. And that changes every 30 days. You'll be able to find that on mykbgold.us under recorded calls. So the most important, put that number on your phone and know how to do a 3-way call. This is designed for busy people. If you don't have to wait and be at a beck and call to wonder, did somebody open my email? Do they get 200 emails a day and they were all good intention, wanted to get to it but couldn't get to it, and then it gets lost? If you want to rest your exposure on the whims of whether or not somebody got to that or not, that is completely your preference. But for me, and for any other busy people, you can utilize the 2-minute call and know within 3 minutes if you have somebody that has an interest in what you are presenting. I'd rather work with interested people than to wonder, did they open it, did they get it, did they review it, blah, blah, blah. I want to know in 3 minutes. So if you're busy and you're wondering how you can fit this in, you spend 3 minutes a day driving from one place to another. You spend 3 minutes, maybe even in cracks of time on breaks. You can utilize windows of time to get the message to people, identify who is interested and their level of interest, and then drive them to the tools for them to find the answers to the questions that they will have. And that, Dr. Denis does a great tape on that, on sharing and showing, pointing to the tools. It's on mykbgold.us. So in terms of that, marketing exposure, some people are internet marketers. I'm just kind of a face-to-face or on-the-phone kind of guy, old-school knucklehead. But I wanted to know right away how to do that. So that's my input on that.
All right, well, great. The old adage, guys, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. If you're putting this in front of someone that doesn't see the importance of having some gold in their portfolio or in their possession, doesn't realize the deep, deep problems that the economies worldwide are in, and if you haven't read that Stansberry or listened to that Stansberry report that I put out through email and in the Skype rooms, I watched it this morning and it just was blown away, and it just takes me a little bit further across the bridge of belief, knowing that we are in the right place at the right time with the right company with the right product, and there are no losers in this game, guys. That's one of the things that's most comforting for me to know. We get paid 2 ways. The first way we make money is get some skin in the game. Get some gold from KB. Buy it. Whether you store it or take delivery, it matters not. If you have it in your hands, hey, great. Still going to go up in value as the price of gold goes up in value. And if you store it, you have a gold account. Your gold account is leveraged to the price of gold, and as gold goes up in value, so does your account. Those of us that have bought gold from KB, and there's hundreds and thousands that have, our accounts, my account is up 21% since I first bought. Just in the last 35 days or so, if you bought gold, congratulations. You just made 15% on your initial outlay. So what's that CD paying you at a bank? What's your stocks doing at the stock market? You're referring people that are going to do the same thing, buy gold from KB, and it's definitely a smart thing to do. There are no losers. And the second thing is we make money when we refer others that buy gold from KB. That's how we get paid. That's commissionable activity. So in order to do that, it's important that you master these 5 foundational components. Learn Dan's techniques that we have listed at mykbgold.us under affiliate training tips, and then it's just a matter of time. You get it in front of people's eyeballs and get it in front of their eyes and ears. They're going to call you back, or when you follow up, just follow the steps that it lists there, and we're going to get their questions answered. And then we get to step number 2. They're going to say, Dan, this looks really good. I definitely would like to set up an account. How do I do that? Well, you got to master the registration procedure. And I know a lot of people send people to their website. I never advise doing that, because let's face it, when you go to a new website for the first time, it's a little confusing. You're a little unsure. And let's just say you went to Chase Bank, and you go in there to open an account. Are they going to send you to a website? No, they're going to sit down with you. They're going to take the information onto an application. They're going to set up the account. I don't think we should treat it any less professionally. Do you, Dan?
No, I think that's true, Joe, because what you do is, if they are not only interested in having their own account, but you're also training them, if you do that, to duplicate in a fashion that will encourage people enrolling properly also. Duplication's everything.
Absolutely, and I would really appreciate it if someone kind of did it for me and then walked me through what I need to do. So I think you should have a stack of hard copy applications on your desk if you're working from home on the phone. Or if you're working on the internet, you need to have an email prepared with just copy and paste the application information to an email, send it to them, say fill it out, send it back to me, and I'll set you up with your account. And then I'll call you or email you with your account information, show you how to set up your account. And people appreciate that. That way they don't have to do the work. You'll do it. And once you get the information, then you go to kb-vision.com, you click on the Register tab, you enter in the information, or if you don't want to personally sponsor them yourself, you want to give them away to one of your 3 people maybe that you've enrolled, you go to their website and do the same thing, and that will automatically place them front line. So you want to get 3 and help your 3 get their 3, so on and so forth. And then once you get their account set up, you want to then get them on the phone or on Skype, or you want to face-to-face with them if you can, and get them to go to the website immediately and log in. You'll have their login information, and you'll show them how to enter their username or their user ID and their password. That will take them in, and the first thing they're going to see is, do you want to upgrade to affiliate? Everyone, I repeat, everyone is a customer by default. That's automatically. Everyone's a customer, and you have to physically, manually upgrade to affiliate if you want to make money with the referral rewards program. So that's step number 3. Show them how to upgrade. Walk them through it. And then once they upgrade, it'll dump them into their back office, and then you want to direct their attention to the next and very, very important part of the procedure, and that's to get their KYC documents done. And that stands for Know Your Customer. And that is to comply with the Patriot Act and international banking laws. You have to prove that you are who you say you are and prove that you live where you say you live. Once you do that, you'll be approved and you'll be ready for step number 5, purchase gold from KB. And guys, I can't stress enough, everyone that has any financial accounts, whether it be a checking, a savings account, or any financial dealings at all, you need an account with KB. People just don't know it yet, and they need us to tell them. I am telling you, what's coming is not going to be pretty by any stretch of the imagination, and some of the analysts that I subscribe to think that there's going to be a tremendous sell-off in the stock market coming as early as late October, early November, and there's some compelling evidence that I'm tending to agree with them. So if that happens, guess what's going to happen? Gold is going to soar in value. And there's never been a better time to buy gold, own gold from KB. And if you have not made your purchase yet, there's 2 more days after today left in the commission cycle. It's not too late. You can set up an account for yourself. If you want to if you want to scroll down on that page, 5 foundational components, we can kind of get into a little bit of strategy there. But everyone that is interested in building a book of business with KB needs to have 3 legs, 3 personally referred people minimum. And we kind of get into the verbiage of what you say there. You can read through this. Once you get someone to the point where they're setting up their account, we explain to them their options to get started, their options to get some gold right away. And it basically lets them know that there's 3 customary entry levels. One is at €500, and right now there's a promotion running to the end of October 31st, where if you do a €500 purchase, you automatically are going to be upgraded to the bronze supervisor position, which is basically a pay raise. You're going to get more money for the business that you bring the company. And if people want to make that commitment, you're going to put them in leg number 1, and then they also have an option if they don't have that kind of free-flowing cash flow, that you give them an option to do €100, and if that's the case, we put them in leg 2. And if they just want to get started with a minimum €50 monthly purchase plan, we put them in leg 3. All 3 of those entry levels are a commitment to do a monthly purchase plan with KB. Now, if you want to do the €500 just the first month and then downgrade to €50 the second and third month because of cash flow purposes, you can do that. You don't have to stay locked in at $500, and that way you can take advantage of the promotion that's running right now. But even more brilliant is the strategy that Dan and Lloyd and Dr. Dennis and a lot of us are doing. We have a position personally, and then we register our wife or a business or a second position to head up leg number 1, and then we do the €500 purchase through that entity, and the commission that you'll make off that will be more than enough to, if you just do a minimum €50 with your position above them, it will basically, your commissions will pay for your gold. That's free gold, guys. And it doesn't get any better than that. That's the absolute best cost basis you can have for your gold, and that's free. So we have a strategy for that. So just spend some time on this page. It'll give you the projected incomes that can be generated by deploying this strategy. And I think Dennis or Boomer, unless you have anything you want to add to that, we'll open the line for questions. So Dr. Dennis or Boomer, do you have anything you would like to add to that?
I would, just very briefly, I want to point out perception and recognition. If you look at the longer now, back from the first depression in the 30s and coming out from the war in the 40s, we saw the mindset of a nation be savers. They were savers. They went through the hard times. They understood the value of preparing yourself and always having something for a rainy day. As the media and options and technology and the wealth of America started drumming up the ability to charge things and buy them now and pay for them later, selling your time in the future for what you wanted now, we got away from that. Now we are seeing the effects of that after we tapped out our homes. We had changes in companies leaving out of the country and going to places so that they could compete. And if you see the trend, right now the mindset of a nation is heading back into savings. They are bombarding everybody with buy gold, precious metals, national debt out of control, protect yourself. It has never been a better opportunity ever for you to bounce the KB plan off somebody's head. The media is directing the mindset change. Merely bounce KB off their head, and you will find interested people. That's all. Absolutely. Dr. Dennis, do you have anything?
No, that was very important. I hope everybody got that, and it was brilliant, Dan. That was brilliant. No, let's go to questions. Yeah.
All right, great. All right, if you have a question for the panel, press 5-star. 5-star will raise your hand. I'll see it on the control panel. I'll unmute your line. 5-star. question about the 5 foundational components or the strategy or anything you'd like to discuss or ask a question of, we'll do our best to get you an answer right away. So 5-star will unmute your line. Not unmute your line. That will raise your hand, and I will see that on the panel, control panel, and I'll unmute your line. Any questions? 5-star on your receiver. Still don't see any hands raised. There we go. All right, my girl Taylor in New Jersey. You go, girl.
Hey. Hey, guys. Another great call. It's Taylor in New Jersey. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Fire away.
Okay. All right, great. Joe, I have a whoop.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, sorry. It said hand lowered. I have a gentleman who owns his own insurance company. Very, very busy guy, time poor, and I've very bright man. He's got an economics and financial background. It was such a pleasure speaking with this gentleman recently, and of course he sees the value for sure in having gold physically on hand. So I'm working with him on bringing him in as a customer, for now anyway. He doesn't realize that he's time poor and that he really needs to build the KB opportunity to find the time freedom and the income that all of us so would love to have. But anyway, my question is, what, in my mind, I'm trying to keep it simple. I'm trying to keep in mind that he's very poor on time, has very little, and but I want to present him the information. What comes to my mind is to send him to the mykbgold.us site and direct him to the tab, the customer tab, and have him view that page, and that be enough information, as well as having, answering his questions. Do you recommend anything else besides that I should share with him?
Definitely would recommend the customer tab and the pricing facts.
Okay.
So many people just do not understand, nor did I, or any of us, what Kinnabar was, and why you should pay more for that. And people focus on the cost rather than what it's worth. They focus on the price rather than the appreciation. It's outperforming every asset class available, including non-Kinnabar. Great. Coins, bars, ingots, and on the pricing facts tab, while I was out visiting Big Boomer in San Diego, I recorded a video where I'm holding up a gold coin, a very popular gold coin, and I'm holding up a Kinnabar 1 gram bullion, and I explain the difference. It's important that people understand the difference and why it's more important, in my view, to own a bullion that is going to appreciate faster and also have a security feature that none of the other gold products have. Not to mention the storage. There's lots of good, valid reasons to elevate KB's bullion as the preferred gold bullion to have.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Taylor, I'm so happy that you brought up that question, that point, because this is, I think, an important communication demonstration. You see, if somebody's really busy and they're making money, if you approach it from the perspective that you're going to show them how to make money, they already make good money. I ran into that, and I realized one thing. If they're really busy, you can ask them, do you want to stay that busy, or would you like to get back some time? And 99% will say, I'd love to get back some time, but I can't see how I can do it. I'm so busy. I said, then you're going to have to buy back your time. And the only way you're going to do that is with residual income. And so if I could demonstrate to you how you could literally take cracks of time and identify the people to work with in our program so that you don't get run around and you get the best You get the best bang for your minute on communicating. Would you want to know how? And that's when you throw in the 2-minute call and show them what was your level of interest. And at that point, they're going to say, can you see yourself taking cracks of time and working with people who are interested? If they say their level of interest is an 8, great. Then do you think anybody else that listens to this message might think that it's an 8 also? And so you can utilize the strengths of what we have in a short version to identify who to work with and who you don't need to work with. So on top of the benefits of our program, just that can sit on itself as an account, if you understand the higher you go up the economic chain, they look for risk, they look for market size, they want to know what their initial investment will be and their time commitment and what is the payout. You cannot deny that we have absolutely the best payout there can be. What could be better than residual override on reoccurring savings plans deposits globally, and it didn't cost you a penny to do it except a few cracks of time to find interested parties, and the payout is pure gold bullion for your work.
Wow, fantastic stuff, Boomer. All right, Taylor, I'm going to leave your line on here. Any other questions? Press 5-star. 5-star will raise your hand. I see Cindy Belmonte's on there. You girls, I hear, did a fantastic bang-up job last night. Cindy,
yeah, they did.
Cindy, do you have anything that you'd like to add to what's been said already? Cindy Belmonte, one of our top lady leaders in the KB Vision Nation. If you would like to be heard, Cindy, just press 5-star. I'll see that, and I'll unmute your line. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Cindy Belmonte. You are ready to go and unmuted, Cindy.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you guys and all the time that you put into these calls to help elevate everybody, get them excited. And you know what? You always learn something. And just today, I've been through mykbgold.us, a number of times, but the part that you were talking about of just knowing the value of Kinnabar versus those gold coins, that's huge, because I've heard that a number of times. Oh, I've already got my gold coins, or I've got my silver coins. They don't understand the value of the Kinnabar, and they don't understand the value of our small transactional weights, which is, by far our niche market and what we really need to help promote and just show people. Just give them the information and show them, and I can't recommend more having those gold cards in your hand to show them. And there's so many things that we can do in our own communities once you have that gold card in your hand and you show people.
All right, Cindy. Well, I totally and completely agree, and you know what? I just am very, very fired up and excited about our future here. And, KB Vision, the entire opportunity isn't what it used to be, and it's not what it's going to be, but it is where it is today. And where it is today, it's just a fantastic way to enable people to get into the game. Not everyone can afford a $1,900 gold American Eagle, but just about everybody can afford a 50 euro or about 70 US dollars minimum to get in the game. And there are so many people out there that if they knew they could get started with 500 euro, they would. And I think it's very important that we give people options. And now I've revised my approach, where I ask people, when it gets to the point where we getting them registered, we explain, 500 euro, we'll put you in leg number 1, 100 euro leg number 2, 50 euro leg number 3. So, Bill, where do you see yourself getting started? That's a very, very powerful question to ask people, because you've given them options.
You know what, Joe? With that in mind, when we were talking about, putting some information out to people, and especially with that program right there, what would be extremely helpful, because we don't have the track record of time since we only started here in June being able to fund our accounts. If we can get some information from corporate, because they've had 3 years' time of doing this, what would it take for that person who has €500 a month to put in there, or the person who only has €50 a month to put in there? How hard does that leg have to build exponentially right below them in order for their commissions to actually equal enough for their goal to be free? In other words, €50 a month, it will pay for it. If we can get a track record for that, that's something that we can tell another person. It could be 20, it could be 50, it might be 100. But if we knew that number, what it takes every single person, and we're, because we can track and we see who's making the funding below us, that gives somebody a really good idea of how hard they have to work in order to get their gold for free. And some people need that tangible number.
We have that. That is on the affiliate training tips. And
the actual number of people?
Yeah. If you click on the 5 foundational components of a successful business, it'll take you to the page where that's listed. If you scroll down, you'll see under the leg 1, leg 2, leg 3 with the blue arrows, the 339 plan.
Is that under affiliate, did you say?
Yeah, affiliate training tips.
Okay.
Go to affiliate training
gotcha.
tips, and then click on the 5 foundational components link, and that takes you to that next page in the vision, in the tool and video gallery that we set up, and just scroll all the way down to the 339 plan.
Okay.
And that's 3. You put in 3. Who put in 3? Who put in 3? That's a total of 39 people. And if you follow, leg number 1 contains people that are doing €500. Leg number 2 contains people doing €100. Leg number 3 contains people doing the €50. You can look at the earnings.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, but that's something I think we need to. That's a little complicated to tell somebody. If we had a simple way of telling people that everything has to be simple. Go to Dr.
Well,
Dennis. It's got to be
simple. I agree,
simple.
but there's so many variables, and we are revising the numbers as we speak. Even as we everyone's business becomes more seasoned. I
right.
think what we're going to have to do, Cindy, is just come up with some averages.
Yeah.
Because it can
Simple
be more
averages.
or less based on your rank and the timing, and so yeah, I hear what you're saying, and that's why we're working feverishly to put some numbers like that together, because simplicity is the key, and the last thing that we want to do is confuse people.
Exactly. Well, thank you for all you guys do.
Hey, no problem. I know Lloyd Merrifield has put some fantastic videos. In fact, my very favorite video on the comp plan, he created that last week, and I would certainly like to recognize him. Lloyd, if you are...
Me too, man.
Yeah, Lloyd, if you are on, press 5-star. I want to bring you on, introduce you to KB Nation here, and just, give credit where credit's due. I think that video is just absolutely brilliant. So, Lloyd, if you're there and listening in, if you could press 5-star, I'll see that on the control panel here. There you are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet a very wise and brilliant man, and someone that I've learned a lot from, and I have a lot of respect for Lloyd Merrifield. So, Lloyd, if you want to share a little bit about the comp plan and your motivation in putting it together, that would be great.
Yay!
Yes.
Hey, Dan. Yeah, I mean, I've been studying this, obviously, like all of us, for some time, and it's clear that because of the comp plan, it benefits anybody who's out there working, and it rewards them a lot if they do that 3-leg plan. It's not difficult, and those that are not, then obviously they get passed up, and I think that's probably everybody's justice in life. You get paid for what you do, and if you don't, then you don't. But the comp plan was simply put together because I had a lot of people with a lot of questions, and it's far simpler than it appears. And my focus on this, and I think for everybody, should be that is just to have your focus on finding those three key people and build those three legs, and then help them do the same thing. Obviously, you're not going to stop referring yourself, and so you need to place them somewhere. But if you just focus on those three, it kind of takes the challenge of going out and trying to find the world and teach the world, because three will do all you need as long as you help repeat and duplicate that. So that's basically the format, and I couldn't be more excited about this. And I think as the world becomes more clear as to just how important owning gold is, KB has no place to go but up.
Well, I totally agree, and unfortunately, I think the media is even kind of being manipulated and controlled a little bit by the politicians, as they are desperately trying to keep things rolling, and they're continuing to print more and more money and to monetize this staggering, unprecedented debt. And eventually, I mean, you can only do that so long. I mean, imagine if you're running a business that way. You know, they'd probably put you in jail a long time ago. But our government is one of the only that I know that is able to continue to print money and monetize their debt like they are. So certainly the markets do react to what's going on, and you look at since the 2008, 2009, those very terrible years when the markets nearly collapsed, gold prices have doubled in price. And I challenge anybody to find an asset class that can make that same claim. So, again, timing is everything. So thank you so much, Lloyd, for all your hard work. Cindy and Taylor, Big Boomer. Gosh, guys, do we have a dream team of leaders or what? It's just
never seen more fruit on a tree like this, baby.
Yeah. And that's, again, a testament to the strength and the impressive nature of this program. I mean, it draws quality people, and it will continue. And you know what, guys? The number one income earner in this company may not even be in yet. There may be some brand new people that just blow the doors off of all of us and go right to the top. That's the beauty of getting in early. So anyone else have anything they would like to add? And I want to invite all the callers, if you have a question or a comment, press 5 star, and we'll unmute your line. And while we're waiting for that, Boomer, Dr. Dennis, Taylor, Cindy, Lloyd, anybody, have anything you want to add?
Joe, this is Dennis.
Okay.
Just want to make sure we encourage people to be on the call, on the live video broadcast this afternoon.
Right.
kbgoldevents.com.
Yeah, kbgoldevents.com. Okay, got a question here. I've got an area code, starts with 602, last 4 digits, 2288. I'm going to unmute your line. You're live on the Breakfast Club. 602, and the last 4 digits, 2288. You're unmuted, and you're live on the Breakfast Club.
Okay, Joe?
Yes.
Yes, this is Agaja in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yes,
and
Agaja.
I'm referring back to, I want to understand, when you're working with your people, how do you how do you capture them? Where do you have a number of people you work with? How do you hold the number that you have and place them under where you want them to be placed?
Well, once they get to making a decision, and yes, I got you. I'd like to set up an account. I'd like to do that right now. Okay, great. If you have a hard copy application on your desk, you can take down the information, just like they would at Bank One or Bank of America or any financial institution. You want to be professional, take down the information, or if they would, what I say to people, look, I can take your information right now, or if you'd be more comfortable, I can email you the application. All you have to do is click reply and fill that out and hit send, and that'll come back to me, and I'll set you up with your account. Which would you be more comfortable with? Again,
okay.
People like choices.
Yes.
And either way, you're going to have that information. Now, you then can control their placement. Where are you going to put them? That's when you call them back. Let's pretend this guy's name's Bill. Bill, hey, got you here. I've got your application. You emailed that back to me. So I want to thank you very much. Getting your account set up right now. I want to explain some options here for you. And first of all, once you have your account, I'm going to walk you through getting your account upgraded to affiliate, getting your KYC documents so you can buy yourself some gold. Now, when it comes to buying gold, most people that are serious about the business get started a certain way. How serious are you, Bill, about building an income with KB? Another fantastic question to ask them. How serious are you about building an income? And if they say, I'm serious, then you say, well, most people that are serious, that have the ability, get started with a 500 a month euro plan. And that's going to be about $700 US, maybe a little more, a little less, depending on currency conversions. And that's where most people get started. Why? Well, one of the reasons is we have a promotion. That's going to catapult you 3 positions in the comp plan to a bronze supervisor. And if that's a little steep for you, you can afford €100. You get started, it's about $140 US. And if that's the case, we'll put you in leg number 2. And by the way, people that get started with the top level at €500, we put them in leg number 1. And those are the people that get most of our time and attention. Why? Because they're serious and because they're bringing more business to the company. Not to say that we won't help you if you can't afford that amount of money, but I just want to be open and honest with you on how we're structuring our business. And then the last position is last way to get started with €50. That's the minimum monthly purchase plan. And all 3 options are a commitment to buy 100 of the 1 gram units over a period of time that you control. And if you ever get into a pinch for cash flow, you can delay or pause your monthly purchase program for up to 12 months with no penalty whatsoever. So, Bill, having explained all that, where do you see yourself getting started? 500, 100, or €50? And let them decide. And that's going to determine what leg they go in.
So be it. The other question I'm trying to formulate is, what you mentioned you personally wouldn't send your personal website.
No. I don't prefer. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So the old golden rule, do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. I mean, if I get sent to a strange website, it's all going to be strange to me.
Right. So you're saying my work is to stay with the person and teach them the same thing.
Learn the vocabulary. mykbgold.us, affiliate training tips, click on that 5 foundational components. Learn that page of information, and if you learn that and teach that, success will chase you, my friend.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything that I missed or you guys want to add, or gals, that to what I just said? Okay, then.
I think you did a great job, Joe.
Well, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? Here's another perception. If you expose this and you make it duplicatable so anybody can do it, I'm going to tell you right now, there is no way somebody else a blind squirrel's not going to find this acorn as long as you expose it. Number 1 of the 5 foundational components.
Agreed. All right, gang. Well, we're at the top of the hour almost. We do have time for one more question. If anyone has a question, press 5 star. 5 star will unmute your line. And if you have a question, now's the last chance for you to ask a question. I think Cindy, did you have something, Cindy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I thought I saw your question bar came up there. Maybe that was an older question. Okay. Well, listen, guys, we're going to let everybody go. I want to thank all the panel, from Dan, Big Boomer Girolamo, Dr. Dennis, Lloyd Merrifield, our wonderful lady leaders, Cindy Belmonte, Taylor in New Jersey. Just a pleasure and an honor to be working with all of you. All of you brand new, plug in, get on the phone, get dialing your upline, find out no less than 3 people in your upline that are ready, willing, and able to help you and support you and assist you in every way. And if you can't find them between us and you, hey, we're willing to step up to the plate as well. So for the rest of the panel, this is Joe Norman here in Worcester, Ohio. Don't forget about 3 o'clock Eastern. That's 12 noon Pacific. kbgoldevents.com. Got a live event, and it should be fantastic. So you guys all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you all at the top.
Thanks, leaders.